Hi, and welcome to another episode of Ruang. My name is Caleb, and this is a conversation about creativity, community, and also culture. And joining me today, we have the wonderful Max Lowe with us. And Max, how are you feeling today?
Feeling a little bit nervous. I was just dragged into this, but I'm excited to see what.
Nothing to be nervous about, because this will be a great conversation. Max, we normally ask our speakers an icebreaker question, and that question is normally, what is your favorite book and why?
I don't really read a lot of book, but the one that I can really remember is the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I think that
good book.
That was a book that I've read when I was 17.
Wow!
Right,
2 years ago.
No. 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago.
Max does look very young.
11 years ago. And that was the book that actually propels me into the real estate industry. Because originally I was from, I did law as a background. So that was where I...
So you're a qualified lawyer?
No, I just did all the way until CLP, and then I decided not to pursue.
So you're a somewhat qualified lawyer?
I am a unqualified, unsolicited, don't take legal advice from me.
Okay, there we go. Hey, that's a lawyer for you.
Yeah.
Wow, wonderful, great book and a great choice. And Max, you've been in the line now for about 2 years.
So now it's August, right? So 2 years and 1 month.
2 years and a month. Well done, congratulations.
Right.
And so you roughly started at the tender age of 26.
26, that's correct.
Yeah. So talk to us a bit about, in a bit more depth. You've mentioned it, but the pivot from what you were doing to stepping into the industry. Tell us a bit more.
So I'll start from from uni. So uni, I did law. I graduated with a law degree from the University of Northumbria. Then from there, I took a gap year actually. Okay. And then during the gap year, I actually interned in Reapfield.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, so I was an intern in Reapfield for approximately 6 to 7 months.
It's a long time. And what did you do as an intern?
Oh, everything. I mean, in terms of my purpose of being an intern was to just really to understand the market. Understand a little bit about what the sub-sale market does, the primary project.
But you didn't have an intention to one day step in? Or
no, I think because of the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, it really inspired me.
Sure.
And because it inspired me, I just want to know a little bit more and how can I understand a little bit more about the real estate industry. So by interning here, actually it gives me a big holistic overview.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was an internship. But after that, I did my CLP. And then immediately after that, I worked in a leadership development company for 2 years, doing business development.
Right.
But in the midst of that, I got married, so commitments changed. So therefore, so that's why I had to pivot back into.
Yeah, you say that like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
It's a great
life-changing moment. Yes. But it's just more of like financially, it makes a lot of sense to
change the circumstances.
Come into real estate and just to try it out, even though it was a little bit daunting in the beginning.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I've taken that leap of faith.
Yeah.
And journey in the real estate industry for the past 2 years and 1 month.
Yeah, sure. So the odds somewhat must have been stacked up against you.
Yeah.
Coming in as a slightly younger person, stepping into an industry that can be relatively daunting.
It is.
You need to have a certain amount of self-discipline, self-motivation to carry out what you're doing. Also, I suppose as a rookie, the odds are stacked up there as well. Young, stacking up against people who have been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
How did you feel? How did you maneuver those few days, weeks, months?
Perhaps maybe I give you a little bit of a backstory. Like in terms of when I joined in Reapfield, there are many challenges as a rookie as I came in. In fact, for the first, I believe 7 or 8 months, I've not closed any deal.
Wow. Okay.
Right. My bank account was like depleting lesser and lesser and lesser, even to the extent that it actually went down to 0.
Wow.
And I'm again, because of the change of season in my life, I'm married. Yeah. So I get to ask my wife for some money to support.
You took a soft loan.
Took a soft loan, but it's not a loan. What's hers is mine, what's mine is hers, right? Even now with my success, what's mine is hers and hers is mine.
Shout out to Carol.
Shout out to Carol, if you're listening to this. So in a sense that in the beginning, it was very challenging. Yeah. But I didn't let the challenge really bog me down.
Great.
I think I took that as an opportunity to learn as much as I can from the people that I could learn from in the Reapfield industry. And I have learned a lot.
Yeah.
And from those challenges, it has built me to be a little bit better day by day.
Right.
As our founder, David Ong, will always say, smooth seas does not create skillful sailors.
He's right.
It was a very rough sea that I came in with, but I'm thankful for the skill sets that I've learned to be a good sailor.
Okay, so talk through us from a very practical standpoint.
Okay.
You've alluded to the idea of challenge. And
Yes.
look, in every industry there are challenges, right? Including this one. But tell us, the practicality. Apart from having nothing in the bank account, some very real day-to-day challenges that you had to face and overcome in your journey.
Okay. I think the first challenge as a rookie is definitely getting in listings, quality listings. And the reason why I would say that is because being new, your commission is basically the same as any other commissions of other agents out there. So what is stopping a seller to approach someone who has been in an industry for 20 years, 30 years, than for a rookie who has just joined and not really know a lot about the industry? Right. So if they were to engage me and I can't really produce the level of value that 20-year-old agents can produce, so why bother even engage me in the first place? So then that was my first hurdle. Right. And for me at that season of the 7 and 8 months is that how can I bring myself or equip myself in the value that I can provide up to the 20 years experienced agent. In fact, even more, something that they don't even do and they're not really in the expertise of doing. And I feel technology has really helped advance.
Tell us a bit about that.
So I think, for example, typically in terms of the market right now, if you engage a 20-year-old agent, they're very expert in the subject matter.
Okay.
Right. Subject matter means that, let's say I'm an agent in SS2. I've been an agent in SS2 for 20 years.
Yeah.
And if someone were to engage me, I know the market for SS2 ins and outs.
So you're talking about a person who's been in the industry for 20 years.
20 years, let's say, for example. So the value that as a new rookie that I came in is that, I can do marketing a little bit different, right? Even though that person have a great, strong database, but even though, let's say after he exhausts the database, I still would have additional value from that. Like, for example, doing some drone footages,
with the legal licensing.
With the legal licensing,
apply
prior advance. But this was prior to the approval of the licensing.
Great lawyer disclaimer there. So anyway,
again, everything above board. So and also doing marketing differently a little bit, because how marketing used to be is that you will hang a banner, which is still effective today.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. I think it's just to supercharge the effort, right? How can we do marketing digitally? How can we do sponsored digital marketing that really helps with the business? And these are the additional value added that we can always bring forth to potential sellers and say that this is what I'm doing differently and how it has worked for my business.
Right. And I suppose as a slightly younger person, you found that technology could be a niche, but at the same time, technology without, I suppose, a great database or great tools of the trade, which you will quite often get from those who have been around a bit longer. You can market, I suppose, till the cows come home, but you also need some guidance, coaching, mentoring. So talk us through the benefits of having people alongside you on that journey who have probably gone a bit further on the journey, who do know a bit more about the subject matter, whom realistically we have a lot to thank for in building us up. Talk to us through that process, that journey for you.
Okay. So I believe my journey is that when I went into listing appointments, I don't really know a lot about how do I close, even though, yes, I went for Ignite training, which is tremendously helpful in terms of getting the knowledge, the head knowledge. But I think as much head knowledge as we have, we will still need to learn it through application of head knowledge. So the application part, I really...
So just pause there, right? Ignite is our training for our rookies.
Yes.
It's a 5-day training, and if you are interested, we run it all through the year. So get in touch with somebody from the market center. They'll tell you a bit more, and you can sign up as well.
Yes. So again, back to where we were. Head knowledge, what I need is more of the hands-on application on the ground. So I was very grateful that in the beginning of my real estate journey, I get to journey with buddies.
Yeah.
Right. I have buddies like Anita, who has been in the real estate industry for 20 years. 20.
Wow.
Sorry, not 20. I think perhaps 20.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're listening to this,
shout out to Anita.
Shout out to Anita. Right.
Brilliant agent.
Brilliant. And the fact that she showed me the rope in terms of how she does listing presentation.
Yeah, for sure.
I think at the season is more of like absorbing as much as I can. While being in a team at the time, I got great support from team leader Jonathan as well. So those are the certain values that I've learned by just observation.
Yeah.
Right. So if I observe and I've learned, then when you apply it, it's a lot easier.
Sure.
So that gives me an edge in the sense of like, how can I apply comparatively to a TO agent, and how can I make the process a little bit smoother, a little bit better, and a little bit more efficient.
And really, nothing replaces experience.
Of course.
And when you have the on the ground, on the field experience, it's just tremendously valuable. So let's talk about the age perspective. And I say perspective because perspective does, perception is reality in today's terms. You've heard the old the adage. For a person who's walked into the industry, who started at a relatively young age. Now, let's just clarify that. Let's just qualify that a bit. Nothing wrong with being young, but in an industry that requires a certain amount of reputation, trust built, etc., credibility, I suppose. Sometimes a young person might find that to be a challenge. Might find that you start a bit on the back foot, etc. Tell us a story or anything that you've experienced. Have you experienced something like this? How this guy looks really young, not sure. Yeah. Okay. Tell us a bit of a story that you've experienced or encountered along the lines of age, perspective, reality.
Got it. Okay. So give a little bit of context. This was while I was already a year and a half into real estate. So rather seasoned already at the time, understanding a little bit more about how can I do listing presentation a little bit differently. How can I secure the exclusivity? The context is that I've already had that skill sets that I've learned over the past 1.5 years. So there was this particular instances of a seller that I've met in a bungalow. So supposedly I was arranging everything on text, so she has never called me and never haven't seen my face in person before. So I say, okay, I'm gonna be at your house at this time, and I was punctual. You have to be punctual in this industry, very important. In fact, be earlier. 15 minutes is always a good gauge. So I was there early and just scouting around the area, and I've done my market research on that location already, right? And that's very important and very key. So when I rang the doorbell, he opened up the window, he looked at me, and then he closed the window. And this is something that he told me after the fact. He said that when I opened the window and I saw you, I saw like, oh, this young chap probably doesn't know what he's probably gonna say. Wow. I'm just gonna lie.
He told you this after?
He told me after the fact.
Okay.
So then he said, probably just gonna lie on him and then see what he had to say, and maybe run along.
Right, and this was a slightly more mature age person, I'm assuming.
This guy, he has already retired. So in a sense, the perception is always there. It's already there, like, oh, this young person may not know what he is.
And I suppose to a certain degree, you can't blame.
I understand, because in a sense, in the world today, we always judge. I mean, unfortunately, but a lot of times we see people by their appearance, and based on that, we have a preconcept notion of what the person is already, until the person open the mouth and you get to know that person.
So you were not aware of this?
I was not aware of this. So for me, it's just to be as presentable as I can and be as professional as I can.
Definitely.
So the moment he opened the door, I introduced myself. I say it's a pleasure to get to know you, and I really want to know him a little better. So I went through with him the whole listing presentation. Right, he brought me around the whole house. I asked a lot of qualifying questions. Actually, why do you really want to sell now? Why don't sell later? Just to understand his needs a little bit better. And to him, he mentioned that not a lot of agents, because a lot of times agents will just get the just generalizing the market, but I'm sure there's a lot of specialist agents or agents that does the groundwork and as well as meeting up with the clients. So he said that generally agents would would just ask for the picture and just market it online. Whereas for me, I came on the ground and just understand a little bit his needs and how can I help, and just to understand the pricing. And
you were intentional about that. I'm sure.
Very intentional, and you have to be very intentional if you want to secure that 3% and exclusive as well.
Okay.
Because if you don't have that relationship with person, I think real estate is about industry of trust. If you don't build that trust, why would I trust you with my property to sell it for 6 months for exclusivity if I don't even know you can live up to the expectations?
Or if I have a notion that you might not be able to.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
So after going through the whole listing presentation and really presenting it to him in a very professional manner, he just paused me and said, Max, he apologized. He said, like, actually, I have when I saw you, I judged you too quickly.
Wow.
Right.
On the spot.
In
that same meeting.
In the same meeting.
Fantastic. You must have. I must have done something.
Perhaps I woo him in a certain extent, right? Because I told him, Mr. So and so, I really like you. That's why I'm here to.
Wow.
Build that relationship with each other. And then he's like, yeah, I really like you too, Max. And I was like, oh. So the relationship has already been established, and
so
because of that, it brings additional value.
Right.
And from that conversation, I've ended up securing an exclusive agreement to sell his property.
Yeah.
And he was very happy with the presentation that I've done.
Yeah. And it's not easy for a young-ish rookie. I suppose two sort of big factors there to step out in boldness and to actually go, look, I can do this for you, and to almost seal it to some degree and ask for the exclusive. I think that required some requires some boldness, requires some self-confidence, I'm sure. How did you feel stepping out that moment and just going, Mr. So-and-so, I believe that I can do this for you, and in fact, I'm going to ask you for this exclusive.
Yeah. So the exclusive conversation is a rather, I would say, a straightforward one. I think irregardless of whether I have the confidence or not, having an exclusive agent is always an additional value. Right? Why do I say that? Is number one, you have the motivation from the agent who is exclusive to allocate a bigger fund to actually push for your product. Right? If you have too many agents trying to sell your property, it will devalue your property. Because number one, you will lose control of the price. I've seen a particular instances where there is one particular property for sale and there's like 15 agents marketing it, and they're all in different price range.
Right.
So in a sense, the seller already lose control in terms of the public perception of it.
And just pause that. In one of our previous episodes with I Cheng, we spoke about the idea of bait and switching and fake listings and all that. But it does occur in these sort of moments, I suppose, where it becomes so ultra competitive that people want to get the deal.
And the concern from the seller will always be that, okay, if I give you exclusive, means I'm losing out. Does it mean that I'm losing out from the other agents' database, right? Which I always say that that's not really the case. I'm a very co-broke friendly agent. If they want to come and co-broke, I will do it in a 50-50 perception, right? So you're not losing out on the value for the experienced agent. In fact, I'm leveraging on more experienced agent rather than just one experienced agent. And number two is that you have a focused and dedicated marketing engine for your particular property, right? And as the agent of being an exclusive, I'm more motivated to sell it, and I'm more motivated to pump more. And by pumping more, it will actually help your property in the long term. So to answer your question is that I believe it's not about confidence, but I believe it's more about it makes sense to get the exclusivity. Only if the price is right. Price is not right, I basically am not doing the owner justice in securing that.
But I like the idea of still, not being bashful about it, not being shy or timid about it, and understanding that regardless of whatever that's, I suppose, stacked up against me, I can still do this, and I want to still do this. So look, if you're out there, you're listening to this, you're tossing between, should I, go for it, step out, and you never know what the outcome of it could be. And I think that's always good advice. But so where to from here, Max?
Where to?
What are some goals? What are some, you don't have to tell us money and cents, dollar value, but hey, I'm sure you have something in the pipeline that you're cooking.
Oh, okay. Let's say if you put it into dollar and cents, I always have a goal for every year. I think my goal for this year is 150,000. Basically, something that's more from every year. So my goal is always to keep growing in terms of the production that I've produced. So far, by God's grace, I'm very close to hitting my target.
Fantastic.
In August. So once I've hit my target, then I'll relook and reallocate. How can I increase it throughout the year as well?
Great.
Yeah. In terms of how I'm going to do that, I mean, right now my focus is quite all over the place. I do a lot of referral, sphere of influence sort of deals where I have family members say, oh, I have houses here, here, and here. But eventually I would like to consolidate and be more specialized in a particular area. That way, in a sense, I will be that 20-year-old agent in a few. But also in a sense, with the additional advertising skill sets that I've learned to advertise the property as the property deserves to be advertised.
Yeah, that's awesome. And for those who are watching and tuning in, we're recording this in the month of August. And so Max is doing really well in terms of his goals. But Max is also one of our trainers that we have in-house. And he participates in a program that he mentioned earlier on called Ignite. Briefly explained it. So if you're a Reapfield agent, we highly encourage you to be a part of the 5-day training called Ignite. That will really help kickstart your journey. You can even come in for a bit of a refresher. Like I said, it happens throughout the year. You get to meet and interact and learn from great trainers, practitioners like Max himself, amongst others, many others who actually play a part to help others on the journey of learning. So Max, concluding statements for those who are tuning in. Go for it.
Whoa. I think if you're a rookie out there or someone who just joined the industry, I know it may be daunting, but I think my advice to everyone is always to be learning. Right, always to learn, always to grow, and always to seek guidance from people who are expert in industry. And as you grow, you will eventually be the expert. And don't forget to also impart that wisdom to others as well. That's why I'm in Ignite, and I love to give when I was already given.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Max, thank you so much for your time. We've enjoyed the conversation. Max is get to know him. He's always in the office. He pops by, and make sure you come along and get to know him as well. But Max, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate the conversation. We appreciate the insight. We wish you all the very best in moving forward and everything that's ahead. Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of Rise Ruang, where we talk about creativity, community, and culture. We'll catch you in the next episode.